The first card you have for your past is the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, look at this. Ups and downs, ups and downs. Even the waves behind him are going up and down. Everything's up and down in this card. So I think this was about your feelings. I think your feelings were going up and down. I'm also seeing something to do with your career in this, because there's money here as well with these pentacles. So I think what would happen is, this is what I'm seeing. So I'm seeing your feelings going up, and you'd feel optimistic. And I think when you're concentrating on yourself and your career and all of that, that's when your feelings were rising up. It's like, oh, I feel good about myself. This is great. Feelings are going up. And, you're planning your life, you're organizing things, your career, your money. It's like, oh, I know where I'm going. I feel quite confident. This is good. It's all progressing, because I think that area in your life is really progressing. And then you tried to focus on that, but you couldn't really focus properly, because I think there were some distractions around you, and that's when your emotions would go down. I'm seeing words here, and I think people were saying things to you, and I think this might be family saying things to you, because that's what I'm getting. It's almost like, this is what it feels like. It feels like you're kind of on the rise. You've got this big bubble and it's going up in the sky, or a big balloon. You're starting to feel really good. And then someone pokes it and stabs at it, and then you kind of start to deflate again. That's what I'm getting. Little stabs, pokes, things like that. And when I see stabs, because I'm not seeing swords in this card, they're in the next one, obviously, but yeah, I think they're related, actually. When I see swords, I see words quite often. So people were stabbing you with their words. Now, it might not have even been that bad. They might not have been saying, oh, you're terrible, or you're rubbish, or whatever. But I think these words that they were saying were triggering you, and I'm seeing family here, and I think they might have been talking about other family members or having some kind of drama or something like that, and they'd involve you. And as soon as some of these people started speaking to you, that was when you started feeling, oh, this triggers me, and I start feeling really down. And the reason why that was, I think, was because you do have a very difficult past with some of your family members, and that triggered that memory. And it's like, I'm really confident, I can do my job, I can do my work, I'm fine. And then when I start hearing from them again, that's when my confidence starts to go back again. That's what I'm getting in that card. So I think this is showing you, and I know I always get a lot of flack from this, because people say to me, oh, you're telling people to keep away from their families. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, if someone triggers you, you need to minimize your time with that person. It doesn't mean you totally cut them off. If you don't want to, you can. If you want to, you don't have to. But it means that you need to protect yourself. You need to be self-preserving, because if they're triggering you, and if they were horrible to you in the past, or they set you back with your career in your past, you have every right to protect yourself from that again, because I can see you're really rising up in things. You're really doing things for yourself, and you don't deserve to be set back. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, that was a bit dramatic. That's what I've seen. Sorry about that. Okay, so the next card you have your past is the Knight of Swords. Yes, so this is definitely linked in with that. So here's the stab. I don't think they were totally directed at you. I don't think they were saying, oh, you're terrible or whatever. I think these were people talking to you. Maybe it was even secondhand information about information, and it would trigger you when you heard these words. And it reminded you of the way you were treated in your past. That's what I'm seeing. And I think your instincts were telling you to keep out of this and keep away from this. And that's what I'm seeing there. So they're telling you that for the right reason. If you're being told to kind of keep away, even if it's temporarily or whatever, then do that. The other thing I'm seeing here is a bit of a separation. Someone's away from you. They probably still are. You might be a little bit worried about this person. I think they can be a little bit reckless, because that's what the person on this knight is. He's a kind of a reckless guy. He kind of rushes on. He doesn't think about what he's doing. There might be a little bit of an argument here that you've had with this person, some kind of a disagreement. I don't think that was what made them go away or leave or whatever. And I want you to know this because I think you might be worried about this. You might be thinking to yourself, oh, if only I hadn't have said this or done this, they might not have left or whatever. Don't think that. It's not about you. Don't feel guilty about that. I'm seeing that I have to give you that message there if this is resonating with you. Okay, I know this is very specific. This is what I'm seeing. It might be that you're missing this person. It might even be that you're not sure where they are and you're worried. Might not be that severe, but it might be. I'm not saying they're a missing person. It's not that serious. They might be. But it's kind of like, where are they? Where are they? I miss them. That's what I'm getting. I wish I missed them. I still feel a bit up in the air about them. I'm still a bit angry or upset with them, but I do miss them and I wonder where they are and I'm worried about them. So firstly, the message is, again, I'm getting this again, it's not you. It's not you. The other thing I'm getting is there's an embarrassment around them. They feel a bit embarrassed. There's a bit of shame around them. They might not admit that to anyone. And that's why they're not speaking up. That's why they're not coming forward to you, because they have this embarrassment, this shame around them. That's what I'm getting. It's like, oh, I don't want them to see me feeling like this or looking like this. It's something like that. Now, I think they will eventually come back to you again. I think they'll connect again at some time. It's not going to be for a while, because I think they have a lot to get through. They have a lot to work through before they can talk to you. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Don't worry, they're okay. They're safe. That's what I'm getting. And they're embarrassed. And it's not your fault. Don't feel guilty. They're the messages in that card. Okay, so the last card you have your past is Death. I'm really, really happy to see this. This is a fantastic card. I think, this is what this is showing me. There are these family dramas that I'm seeing in the Two of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. And lots of words and everything else and all of that. And I think it was starting to really get to you, quite triggering. I think you were determined not to carry any more of that energy with you. So I think you're completely moving on from all of that. Again, I'm not seeing you totally losing contact with everyone. I'm not seeing that. You might have been distancing yourself a little bit. You might have been managing these people. What I mean by that is, if they call you, you let it go to the message and then you call them when you feel ready. Maybe you limit your time with them. Maybe it's things like if they invite you to something, you only go when you feel ready. Or it can be things like, if they invite you to a thing with lots of people, you go because there's a lot of different people to talk to, not just them. You might avoid one-on-one with them. All of these different tactics you might be taking, you might be doing. And if you are doing that, I think that's very good. So yeah, I think you do have a very difficult history with a lot of these people, and that's why you're being triggered. You're protecting yourself, and that's the new thing you're doing here, because Death's all about moving on from the old and concentrating on new. So you have to kind of put all of these triggers and these people and this negativity behind you for a while. It doesn't have to be forever, so that you can concentrate on your future. And I think this is on your career and moving forward in all of that. So that's what I'm seeing in that card. I'm sorry, my throat's a little bit sore. I'm going to try and keep going. So the first card you have your present is the Eight of Cups. So yeah, again, this is about moving on, walking away, obviously. Again, there's family here. There's a big wall of emotions. And I think what you're doing is you're not letting people through these walls. You're not letting people poke into your emotions again. You're going to put your wall up, and you are going to talk to people, but you're not going to let them through to you. Then you're not going to let them hurt you again. That's what I'm seeing. So that's really good. I'm really glad I'm seeing that as well. The other thing in this card is sometimes this is about, it can be about moving away from harmful things. So obviously the symbolism here is drinking with all these cups. So it can be about walking away from drinking, which is what happened in these days. But, today it can be any kind of addiction. It can be drinking, or it can be drugs, or it can be anything that's harmful, shopping, anything that's harmful that you do too much of, that's bad for you, any kind of thing that's harmful for you, any kind of overindulgence. So I don't think this is about you walking away from this, though. I think this might be about this person in the Knight of Swords. I think because they're coming up as the Knight of Swords, I think this is someone who can be a little bit self-destructive. They don't think before they do things. That's why I think this is coming up as them. Now, again, I'm not seeing danger around them. I think sometimes they might have gotten drawn into a little bit of self-destructive behavior, a bit of a spiral, and they are going to get out of that. They are going to leave that. That's what this card's telling me. They're going to connect with you again at some time in the future, not now. The big feeling I'm getting in this is, I don't want them to see me like this. I don't want them to see me like this. So they're probably at a very, very difficult stage right now. They're very embarrassed. I keep on getting that around this. They're waiting until they're in a better place, probably mentally, maybe even physically, I don't know, until they come back and talk to you again. That's what I'm seeing now. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the Fool. Okay, so again, I think I'm seeing your struggles with this person who's away from you. You're worrying about them. I think there are a lot of different things I'm seeing here. There are two sides to this person. I was seeing this reckless side in the Knight of Swords and in the Eight of Cups. So there's this reckless side to them. But there's also a fun side to them, which is what I'm seeing in this Fool card. It's like, let's just do whatever we feel like doing. Let's be a bit spontaneous, which is the Fool. So there's that, there's the good side, and there's the not so good side, the destructive side. So you miss the fun side of them. You miss that. And I think a lot of people see the negative side in this person and they don't see the fun side. And you can see that fun side of them. So, I think the reckless side might be a bit more harmful to them than anyone else, because that's what I'm seeing in the Eight of Cups. They were harming themselves, and they're going to start to, or they might have already started to get out of that situation that they're in. I think they have this side where they just rush forward and do silly things or crazy things or difficult things. And it harms them, and they feel a little bit embarrassed and ashamed, and then they hide away a bit. So there might be a temper around them as well. I'm just seeing that. They do a lot of things without thinking. I keep on seeing that. So I think when they do come back and they do connect again, there might be some people around you who either warn you off them or warn you toward them. I'm not sure which one, but I'm just seeing these people trying to kind of convince you of something, and it's around this person. So just make sure that you know yourself. And you know what you want to do, know your own mind, make your own mind up. You might want to be friends with them, you might not want to see them at all, you might want to have more with them, I don't know. But make sure it's up to you, make sure it's your decision. There is some kind of regret I'm seeing around this, and you don't want to have regret. It might be regret that you didn't see them, or it might be regret that you did, I don't know. But make sure that whatever you do, whatever decision you make around this person, it's your decision, and you don't regret what that is by listening to someone else. Listen to yourself. That's what I'm getting now. And that's what the Fool does. He doesn't follow anyone else. He just does what he wants, and that's what you need to do. Okay, so the last card you have your presence, the Sun. Fantastic. I love this. For me, what I'm seeing here is there's a lot of power, and I'm seeing inner power, inner strength that you're getting. I think what's happening is, in this card, is you're letting go of a lot of things. You're letting go of some of these family members. I'm seeing that. There are some positive people as well, so you're not letting go of everyone. I think there's also some big thing that you've had around your head or in your heart or your mind or something that's really been bothering you. It's been kind of stuck there, holding you back a bit. You're letting go of that. You're attached to this thing. You're letting go. I'm seeing a big amount of, a huge release, a big relief, freedom. So you're letting go of this. I think this is a memory, might be an old grudge. It's something like that. You were thinking about something and you let go of this thing. So this either you have or you're going to, or you are at this time. I'm not sure when this is going to be, but it's a final letting go. And then it's like, oh, now that I'm letting go, I can, move on, I can move forward, I can break through this wall that's on this card, and I can start to go forward on this horse now. So, and now because of that, you're determined to move forward. You've got a lot of other things that you can do now because of that. I think there are going to be a lot of changes you'll be making to your life, and you'll be able to do that because you've let go. And the other thing I've seen in this card is sometimes the sun can expose things. They can expose things about ourselves that we might not like. And I don't think you're able to see these things or focus on them because you're focusing on this thing that you hadn't let go of. And now that you're letting go of that, you're seeing a lot of things you might want to change about yourself. And I know that sounds negative, but it's actually really good. So, it's like when the sun shines through a window that you haven't cleaned for a while, and then you notice all the marks on the window. So sometimes that prompts you to clean the window, sometimes maybe. So yeah, you're going to have a lot of cleanups that are going to happen to you. You're going to be motivated to change a lot, and things you're not happy with in yourself, maybe in your home, all sorts of different things. So that's really, really, really good. And when you do those cleanups, you're going to be able to move forward again into new things now that you've let go of this old thing. So it's really fantastic. I love what I'm seeing now. Okay, so the first card you have for your future is the Lovers. So yeah, I'm seeing something quite clearly here. This is about this person who isn't speaking up. Now, they might be a love connection. It's a bit confusing because I'm seeing friendship around them, but I'm seeing love as well. So it might have been, you might have been on and off with them. It might have been a friendship that grew into love. It might be that you were in and out between friendship and love or something. I don't know. There's a lot of friendship. So maybe you were friends for a lot longer than you were lovers. It might be that. I don't know. It's some kind of blurred thing between the two. But I think when they come back to you eventually, you're both going to have a lot of decisions to make, especially you, because I think you're going to have to really think about whether you want this person, because they're really fun to be around. They're fantastic to be around and you really miss them, you care about them, but they have this reckless side and it's a little bit destructive as well. You have to work out whether it's worth it to have this kind of energy around you. It might be, it might not be. Again, it has to be your decision that you make. So try to kind of keep a lot of these things to yourself. Don't let a lot of different people in to kind of talk you in or out of things. Yeah, so I think it's going to be some time ahead of you that they come back again and you connect again. But I think this is coming up now to show you, to kind of remind you to think about this now, kind of prepare yourself. Think about, okay, what do I want to ask them? What do I want to make sure is clear? What can I tolerate? What can't I tolerate? Do they need to ask me anything? What do we have to get out in the open? So think about all of that stuff now, and then you'll be prepared for when they do come back. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, so the next card you have your future is the Five of Cups. Yeah. So, yeah, clearly this is about this person again. They're not in danger. I keep on feeling as if I have to tell you that because I think you're worried about that. I think they're probably isolating themselves. A bit like this man, and he's hiding himself. He's got this big cape. He doesn't want to see anyone right now. He doesn't want to talk to anyone. So I think that's how they're feeling. But there's a bridge here again. So they are going to eventually connect with you again. It's the third time I've seen this connection again. So definitely they're going to connect with you. So if you're worrying about this, am I going to see them again? You are. The other thing is, I was seeing this sort of cleanup in the Sun card. So you're going to be making all these changes, and sometimes that can mean sort of reevaluating a lot of things around you. So I think you're going to have a time of isolating yourself a little bit from the people around you, just while you're sorting a lot of things out in your head. Don't worry about this too much. I think, if you find this happening to you, it's normal and you will come out of this when you're ready. So just let things happen. If your instincts are saying be by yourself, sort your head out, do that. You will come out of this. It's absolutely fine. Sometimes we need to do that. There are a lot of people who say, oh, don't be by yourself, get out, do this, come and see us. That's fine if that's what you feel like doing. But if you feel like being by yourself, if you have things to do for yourself, if you need to meditate or whatever you need to do, take that time and do that, because that's what you need. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, so the last card you have for your future is the Three of Wands. So I love this. What's standing out to me is, well, a lot of things are, but I'm seeing the gold in this. So I'm seeing money, I'm seeing, career goals, things like that here. And I'm seeing levels, new levels. There's a waiting time I'm seeing before you're able to move up to a new level. Career, money. This is a golden sky and a golden sea, lots of gold. And this man's climbed up onto this hill so he can see these ships that are out in front of him and he's waiting for them. So I'll move that up so you can see everything on that card. I think you're probably on a certain level right now with your job, with your career, with your pay level. You're getting a lot of confidence, and that's because you're by yourself, but you're kind of anxious, or you will be at this time, to get up to the next level. You'd like to rush it a bit more than it's happening. That's what I'm seeing. So, if you look at this man, there's a little bit like, there's a thing that looks a little bit like a scarf, and it's around him. It's like a piece of cloth. And it's a checkered pattern. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, racing flag, car racing. So he looks like he's patient, but he's not. Inside himself, he's thinking, oh, I want this to happen. I want this now. Hurry up. I've worked really hard. I've climbed all this way. I'm up at the top of the mountain. I deserve this. I deserve this thing that's coming. Now, you do deserve this. You absolutely do deserve this success. I'm actually seeing you working at night, putting lots of hours in. It might not be at night, but after hours, overtime, putting lots of work in. So you do deserve this. But I think this is going to come to you when you've cleared a lot of these old things out of your system, which is what I was seeing in the Sun card. It's like the old has to be cleared out so that the new energy can come in. So, old feelings, old energies, even actual practical things as well. You might be inspired to clear out areas of your home. You might be making a home office. You might be working from home. But I think once the old energies are gone, I think that's when the new energy is going to say, okay, I'm ready to come in now. It's a very, very positive process, very good thing, but don't rush this. Don't be too impatient for this to happen. It is going to happen because you're clearing the old out, making way for the new. So just let it happen at the pace that it's supposed to happen. That's what I'm seeing in that card.